So last week we had the video of some basic wiring on speed controllers for combat robots. And it was a great video. We had a lot of fun making it. In order to set it up and work correctly, we had to program the brushless speed controller. And I don't want to make it seem like I'm the expert on brushless speed controller setup, because I wouldn't say that I am. But this is the basic setup you have to do to get a VESC type speed controller to work, because you have to program them basically every time you set them up. So this is a walkthrough on that. All right, so this is the brushless motor that we're going to be working with. This is actually one of the weapon motors that I used in Disinformation. So this is a used motor, but a good one. And this is one of the Maytech speed controllers here. So this is a VESC-based speed controller. The basics of programming is the same for all of the VESC style program speed controllers. So it's pretty basic. You plug in the 3 wires. Once you have this done and you program it, make sure you keep these connected in the order that they are. Because if you change this, then you'll have to reprogram the speed controller, because everything will be in a different spot. Now this is a sensored speed controller. This is, however, not a sensored motor, so we have to set this up sensorless, which makes this programming aspect even more important. So let's connect up the laptop and open up the program, and we can get ready to see what we can do here. Okay, to program a VESC-style controller, you need to download the actual tool to do this. It's free. It's not something you have to pay for, but you open it up. For whatever reason, it takes forever once you double-click it to actually open it up. It's a weird program. So here we have the VESC tool opened up on my laptop. We have the right connection, it's a USB connection to the speed controller itself. So we're basically set up to go. You should always download the newest version of the tool. I say that even though this is like a previous version, but that you should do that. Okay. So the routine is you've got to power the speed controller. Okay. Then it should give you this option to connect. You connect the software to the speed controller. All right. So now we're in the process of getting to where we can do the setup. So the first thing you do is set up motors, FOC. All right. And it'll start running through a menu of things that you're going to have to make some options here. Yes or no doesn't matter here. We're changing stuff. So generic is best to start out with, and you don't need to do any of the other things with it right now. All right, so this is an in-runner. Okay, so we're going to have to find an in-runner, and this is, realistically, this is somewhere between a small and medium in-runner. So we're going to go ahead and just pick medium at this point. Do all this stuff. Now, for usage in like scooters and stuff like that, which is where all of this stuff was made for, typically you just leave this stuff absolutely blank as it sits, but for combat we tend to do things a little differently. So it reads how many cells are in the battery. So right now it says 6 cells. Well, it's going to use that so that it cuts off the battery if it gets too low in voltage, which you want in a scooter and you don't want in combat. So typically, I turn that down to something lower. Okay. If you do this, you can set your battery max current and max regeneration. This isn't a bad thing to set. Obviously, for this little test board, it doesn't matter. But in general, if I was doing this for combat, you need to figure out what you think the motor can handle and what the battery can issue, that you up your max current from there. So let's go 75 amps. Nah, let's go down a little bit with this motor. Let's go 60 amps. 60 amps, good. And current regeneration, you want quite a bit less than this. This is how fast the motor can push current back into the battery. So this is part of your regenerative braking. So the higher you set this, the more aggressive your braking will be. Click next. We're not doing anything as far as pulleys and all the rest of that. That's kind of a big pain in the butt. All right, so right now it's going to go through its detection process. We're going to click OK. And this guy is going to start making some noise here. All right, so it's decided what it's done here. All right, so it gives you some basic information here, what it thinks motor current will be, the basic inductance the motor is seeing right now. So just some basic information that you can mostly ignore. Now, if you want the motor to turn one way or another from the way it's turning, you can invert it here. Obviously for this display, I don't care, so we're just going to click Finish. Okay. All right, so now we've set all of these parameters. So we're going to use this little thing here to write. It's making sure that we're forcing this configuration or writing it to the controller. So we're going to do that. So right now, all of that information that we just learned and created has now been programmed in the speed controller. The next thing we have to do is to tell the controller how to take my radio input and actually do what I want it to do. So now I've got everything powered, I've got the transmitter on, so we're going to do setup input. And it's got a setup wizard here. You just go through the steps on this. So right now it's learning back and forth, and it'll pull up what it basically has programmed right now. All right, so you've got various different options because those controllers can work with all kinds of different things. For our needs, we're using a radio transmitter. So we're going to click that and next. All right, so right now, it's reading where my sticks are at to figure out where it sits. So right now, it thinks it's 54% of the travel here. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit reset, okay? And then we're going to move the stick through all of its range of motion. And you can see it's reading the input differently there. And when we're done, now we can click apply. And so now it's going to measure those back to 50 because where it's sitting right now, it thinks now it's in the middle. So you can see it was off quite a bit between what the transmitter was giving and what the radio thought it was getting. All right, so we've got all of that. We're going to click next. All right, this is the part that gets different for combat versus almost any other use here. So the control type, what we want is we want duty cycle. Okay. Now, if you were using it for a weapon and you wanted no reverse, you can do that. But we're just going to use duty cycle. All right. These other filters, we want those off because we don't want the speed controller to think something is wrong and not work. And that's basically what these are. They're safety aspects, but we don't need them in combat. So the ramp time here, that's the delay between you doing something and then the controller actually starting. Obviously for combat, we don't want high ramp time. However, if you turn this down to 0, sometimes they get confused. So I usually turn it down just a little bit to 0.2 seconds. All right, so we've got everything here. Write, so this writes the program to the controller. We're going to click next and finish. At this point in time, we're basically done. I'm going to go ahead and just make sure that that's written correctly. And that should cover the basic usage of the motor. So at this point in time, we're pretty much set. So I'm going to disconnect everything and we'll see how it works. Okay. So now we got a fresh start from battery off. Make sure everything's programmed correctly. Make sure everybody's happy. So we will power this guy on. We'll turn on the transmitter, give it a second to boot up, and then we'll see if my motor works. See that little delay? That's that 0.2 seconds on that spin up. Okay? That's what that little delay is. So all of this is working exactly as it's supposed to. Everything's good. So that's the basics, the very basics of programming a VESC controller to work for your combat robot. I will tell you that if you do all that and you don't like how it turned out, sometimes just go through the whole process and do it again, and it'll just miraculously work the second time. So it's fairly straightforward, but you do have to play with it a little bit. So that's the basics of the process of going through it. If, should be able to get you close, and you might have to play with some settings here and there to get the final things that you need for your particular setup. But that is the basics of programming all VESC style controllers for use in a combat robot.